Hello and welcome to this talk about the newest and coolest features of Helidon. My name is Dmitry, I work for Oracle and I'm part of the Bulgarian Java user group, and I'm very happy to make this video in this wonderful studio by EPAM with a wonderful view of Sofia. It just stopped raining, so it looks just beautiful. So a lot of stuff to explore today, like we have only half an hour and 6 cool new features, so let's jump into it. Just for you who don't know what Helidon is, a small introduction. So it's a set of libraries for developing microservices. You can find more information under helidon.io. Helidon means swallow in Greek language, so it's really nice name for calling a microservices framework, because like swallows, they are very fast. They fly in the clouds. They're very maneuverable. They're very brave birds, and I really like it very much. Actually, if you want more deeper dive in what Helidon is, just type Helidon in YouTube, and there will be a lot of videos, including myself. So the coolest part of it, it's open source. It's under Apache 2.0 license, and everything you need is available under GitHub/Oracle/Helidon. It's open source. It's actually one of the first open source product by Oracle. So if you like something, submit PRs. If you don't like something, submit PRs. We accept PRs. So why it is so cool? Because it's built on top of Netty. It's completely asynchronous. And as I said, it's cloud native ready. That means that whenever you want to write a microservice, that means that you don't just publish to REST endpoint. Out of the box, you have everything you need to run the clouds, like health, metrics, tracing, checks, everything. And once again, we are so much Graalvm native image friendly that technically 99.99% of our code compiles to native image. Even the CDI, which makes us completely proud actually that a full CDI implementation can run as a native image, run in a native image. That we pay a lot of attention. That means that your microservices will become even faster if you write them in native image. Actually, if we talk faster, there's some numbers that you can see here. So memory footprint is really tiny. Startup time is usually fractions of a second, and disk space usage is a lot less than Spring Boot application. So let us see actually why Helidon, what architecture it has. As I say, Netty is the base for it. And then we have this reactive layer which actually wraps Netty and creates this wonderful set of services. Actually not services, so like tooling for you to run your services in the clouds. So, and just to make it portable and compatible, we decided to be part of the micro profile. That means that whenever you have a code which should be portable, if you have a code that should be ported to from other application to Helidon, and whenever it's micro profile, you just drag and drop in and it works out of the box. Actually, let's explore what Helidon MP is a little bit more in details. As you say, there are 13 specifications right now which make the core of microprofile, and once again they are created specially to run your stuff in the clouds. That means since microservices are exactly a distributed stuff, faults can happen anytime. That's why you have fault tolerance. You can see the health of each service with health and metrics. You get security, and of course you have like tracing, because once one request can go through multiple services, and you can document everything with API. You can also talk to other microservices with different clients, and you have a portable configuration. That means if you port your code to Helidon, that means that you just drop into configuration, it will work out of the box. But out of the box, you get not just this specification, you get even more. That means that out of the box, you also have a persistence transaction. They are all Jakarta specifications, WebSocket as well, and you get Microsoft GraphQL, microprofile GraphQL, and it's like site specification right now for microprofile, but we're following its rules. And even more than that, you get CORS and gRPC, both server and client. So out of the box, you get massive tool set. But as I said, there is a reactive layer underneath Actually just wanted to say that it is so beautiful and it's so powerful that we call it the danger zone. Why? Because actually you get full control of what's happening underneath. You're out of specs and it's pure Java. That means that you are able to make a really performance stuff with pure Java implementation of the very same specifications, but only in Java. More than that, you have web client and DB client. They're all reactive. That means that you can talk even to synchronous databases in asynchronous way. So more details in the sessions you will find in YouTube. Just want to mention that reactive stuff is actually wonderful because all the reactive stuff is contributed by the father of reactive programming, David Carnegie himself. So it's one of the fastest implementation available on the market. The numbers are actually shown here are really small, so you get really up to 30 megabytes of disk space usage for a complete web service. I mean, if you compile it to native image, that means that it's so tiny and the startup times are really fractions of a second. So full control, full power. As I say, welcome to the danger zone, but handle with care. Okay. What is actually new to all of this wonderful stuff we've made for you? So let us jump into the features. So cool feature number one is the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So yes, we are part of Oracle. So the main team is actually working. Helidon itself as a product is mainly driven by Oracle. But since that, we are actually really first-class citizen in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure stuff. And what is OCI? So it's a really massive and wonderful cloud infrastructure providing services like AIS, PIS, SIS, data as a service, and it all comes at reasonable prices, I guess. But since we are first-class citizen, we decided to make really cool integrations with that. So first of all is OCI Vault, OCI Object Storage, and OCI Telemetry stuff. So whenever you want to use these services, we provide native client for that. That means that no site libraries are used. It's directly built into Helidon. And your security may say that there are no other third-party libraries. So it's very clean. And you will be able to use it directly out of the box. So just a small example. So all the information that you have in your cloud infrastructure, like namespaces, like buckets, here I will show you just the usage of OCI Object Store. You have all the information here, and since you have it, just set it up, and you have a function for each of them, and you just can grab objects from object store or deliver object to object store. You can do it both in synchronous and asynchronous way in MP and SE, and this is cool. So not to show you all options there's a wonderful article by actually the man who wrote it, our architect Thomas Lange. Just check this link and you will see a complete description of it. Another cool feature that is really awesome is Neo4j integration. Yes, you know that Neo4j is a graph database management system, which is a de facto standard of database graph databases themselves. So whenever you want to make a graph database, 100% sure that it will be Neo4j. And as we have a lot of clients that use microservices for fraud detection, actually, so they use graph databases inside. And that's why we decided to make a native integration to this wonderful database. And as you see, what actually you need, just to directly in the properties, you specify the connection to it. And like in MP, there will be microprofile config. And then in SE, there will be just an application YAML. And voila, you are ready. You just inject the driver and it will be completely set up for you by Helidon. In terms of SE, you can also specify metrics and health support if you need it. Technically in MP, this happens automatically for you. Let us actually have a look what it is. So I just created a small database. It's actually a famous movie database used in most of the examples by Neo4j. So it's now working as a Docker image. Yes, you see I've just started it, and we just get an example. We just run it, so I pre-compiled everything for you to make it a little bit faster. So we just use Java-jar on this integration. You see it's really blazingly fast. It's fractions of a second and everything is working out of the box. And we actually can query this database by curl. And we say, okay, give us all the movies that are in this database. And look, you are able to query this without any problems. And more than that, actually, you can query not only this, but you can query your health of the database. So you see that the health status also includes if the database is up and running, and the metrics are also there. We just won't show you this thing, but they're also there. Just, you see, the integration is really full. Okay, lovely. Let us jump to our next stuff, actually. And our next stuff is even greater. Although what can be greater than Neo4j? The cool feature number 3 is LRA, or long-running actions. You know, as microservices, this is a distributed world, so you still have to make transactions in this distributed stuff. So here comes the computer science, and actually there is something which is discovered back in the 70s. It's called the Saga pattern, and exactly Microsoft LRA is based on this pattern way to create distributed transactions. So of course it relaxes some of the constraints of ACID, but still you're able to do these distributed transactions. And as you know, distributed transactions are usually done with a coordinator. So you get a bunch of microservices. Actually, 2 components are involved. So these are the services themselves, and there's a coordinator which runs checks which service in which state is. Just to say that Helidon actually uses mainly Narayana as a coordinator, so it's basically a very standard product. But it's cool because Helidon has its own experimental implementation of it, so you don't have to use third-party libraries. It is functionally absolutely the same, and it's fully tested. But the main idea is that we still have to make some experimental checks for it. And actually, let us. So this is basically how it looks like in a sequence diagram. So you start LRA, you add some operations. Whenever operations fails, you have to add a compensator for this, and you add several services. And whenever something goes wrong, you can just call the compensators. So there's a bunch of annotations used for that. That means that whenever you do this, you want to be part of an LRA, you just annotate everything with LRA. Annotate option for compensation, for complete list, for status, and of course for leaving the LRA. They are all here. You just check microprofile for that. Actually, the spec is, I believe, 100% done, so just enjoy it. And of course, there will be a demo for that. And the demo will be with our own custom coordinator. What I like about it is that it's just a main function. It's already running. So it started in fractions of a second. And let's actually try to make it. So that's why we have an example. So we got the server, but we want to just use it as an example. So we drive, by the way, everything I show you here are the examples available to you directly in the code. So if you want to play with it, you just go here and play. There's nothing additionally and special you have to do. So we have to check if everything is shut down. So we just go to Helidon target. Yes, example, I start an LRA. And we will start some actions actually here. Yes, so as you know, you can use Narayana as a coordinator, or you can use our own coordinator. So we're using here. Yes, it's already running. So let's do some curls. So the first curl is actually gonna start an example and call several services. You won't see any result here. It should work. Yes, it did work. but that means that everything happened correctly. Next, we are going to make something to fail. Actually, there's a main method for this. Let's have a look. Yes, so LRA coordinator is up and running. Lovely. And now we're going to make something which causes exception. Yes, we won't see it here, but as you see in the code itself, let us just jump here. You see there was an exception, and you see the action is actually compensated. So that actually means that everything runs perfectly. So if we jump to our main method, yes, we see that LRA have received an information that this exactly transaction had to fail, and we compensated it. So as you see, runs absolutely smoothly. Great. Let us now close other stuff that we don't need. So LRA is running awesome. Okie dokie. So let's go to our next functionality, next cool feature. And next cool feature is RSocket. Oh, I love RSocket because I was part of the implementation of it. So as you know, it's a binary point-to-point protocol following the reactive streams semantics. So it's really a cool alternative to HTTP, and it's really made for microservices world. So what is the idea? That actually it uses lower level transport, which can be everything, TCP, WebSocket, IRON, or even the HTTP2 streams, to transmit its frames. And its frames actually can be of a different breed. So actually the transactions are 4 kinds. So you just can fire and forget, you can do request response, you can request a stream for you, or you can create a channel. So both actually channels work together in one connection, so we can stream data one way and get stream data another way. And we are quite happy that for Helidon we actually created not just implementation, we have created a full API including a lot of annotations. If you see code on your left, you will see that you just annotate something with RSocket, and then you're able to create fire and forget methods, request response method, etc., etc. The very same way you can do this in Helidon SE, as we are following the main paradigm of Helidon, that we have a routing and we have a services. So you can create RSocket services the way you create regular services, and just add them rules like fire and forget, request response, etc., etc. And what that means is, since we are asynchronous, we can use both completable futures and we can use singles and multis, which are available to us as well. So let us jump to the demo. I want to show it to you, and I really hope it will work. So the demo gods should be with us. So once again, you've got RSocket and you've got RSocket example. So we have, by the way, by the implementation, we have both client and server. So if we just start server itself, so let us jump to the target and let us run the code. So let us see actually what the code is here. So I've prepared it for you. You see we have just a service. We annotate it with RSocket when we have a fire and forget message. So the service is up and running, and we'll try to do some RSCP with fire and forget. And we just send a frame there. And you see our payload is completely and nicely done. We can send another message like request, and we will even get a backfire. So that means that we have a response from our server. I just did a debug mode, so you can see what the frames are actually here. And look how beautiful it is. So RSocket is working, and I really like it. So you see, you can just debug everything. And once again, we have complete set of annotations which you can use. The only thing is still experimental. We're still using only WebSocket as a protocol. But the coolest part here is that for RSocket, we don't start additional NATI server as it's done by the competitors. It's all happening in one NATI server underneath. This is cool because you don't pollute your site with open ports and so on and so on. This is basically one of the main ideas why we are actually using it. great. So just play with it, you're gonna like it. Cool feature number 5 is gonna be without a demo, but it's really short one and small one. And it's micrometer support. You know, micrometer as a framework is an instrumentation facade to get your metrics information, and it's widely supported by many companies, like so you could gather it in Microsoft Azure, Netflix uses it a lot, Datalog, Elastic, everything like Google, they use this framework, and adding a support was essential to us. And technically it's extremely easy. You just add one dependency and you get just timed and counter annotations. Cool thing is that it's available both in MP and SE. That means you can even do annotated way of doing it, or pure Java as on your right. You just specify what to do, and it is actually completely easily done. So no demo here, but just play with it. It's really straightforward, and you have this feature. Next awesome feature is something you're probably not much familiar with, but I think it's a game changer in persistence. And this game changer in the persistence is called MicroStream. So what is it? So I guess we are short of time, so you better Google what actually technically it is. But just short information: high performance Java only native persistence engine. That means that you can store any object or object graphs or its subgraphs partially directly without any JPAs, databases, ORMs, or whatever you need in fractions of a second. So it's only Java specific, but the product itself is extremely awesome. So you really get ultra high throughput, and you get really minimum latencies there. So it can be both in memory or provide persistence there. And what is cool part of it again, that there is a set of CDI extensions, because we're CDI as one say, and we have a special, I would say, context objects there in Helidon SE, when you can just get your objects, store them, get them out of the database, and use them. So the feature is really fun, and I definitely think that this is going to be a kind of a game changer, really big game changer. So that's why I'm quite happy that actually it was contributed by MicroStream's guys themselves, and we helped them. So that means we are one of the actually first frameworks who have it out of the box, and it will be available in version 2.4 of Helidon. And you definitely have to try it. So it's available on integrations, and you just have the MicroStream. So let us see our greetings app that we have, and what is the main idea. So you see, let us just take a look at the source code just for a second. So we have the same greeting application that we use for our examples for the generated code, but as you see, we want to store all the greetings that we receive. So every time you run a microservice once and once again, it will remember it. So actually there is some storage here. I will just delete it just to be completely sure that we have a fair database. So every time we deliver a new greeting, it will be stored. Let me run it and see how it goes. So once again, it's precompiled for you, and I'm not doing all the examples in microprofile. All of them can be done in Helidon SE as well. Okay, MicroStream is done, and let's do some curls. And these curls should be like really easy, and they will be just greet. Oh, wait a minute, it's not 8080, it's 7000 port. Yes, my bad. 7001 port. Yeah, we got the greeting. And for example, we want to make add another greeting, which is let me show it. Yes, we got some curls which are prepared here, which are, for example, hola or howdy. Yes, so let us just run it. Yes, and now every time we call greet, it will be howdy, or it will be hello. It will be howdy or it will be hello. So what is it called? Okay, this is something we can do the regular application. Now every time I stop this thing and run it again, we see that this information is getting persistent. So we get hello world, we get howdy. We get hello world, we get howdy. Yes, it's now persistent in the file, but it can be persistent everywhere you want to store it. And once again, you don't have to do ORMs. It's Java objects which are stored on your machine, and you just get them. And it's really, I think, one of the game changers of the industry, which is coming this year. So, play with microstreams. It will be cool. You're going to enjoy it. And we have a native support for that. Okay, and as a bonus feature for all of you, I just want to say that we are a very good combination with test containers. So you know that this technology is just wonderful for testing. That means you can wrap your Docker image with your application to a test container and test your application as a black box. Or you can use your application to test other black boxes like Kafka, like, for example, other database running inside a test container. And with Helidon, it's really nice combination. So I just want to show you a small demo of an article which we have prepared and will come quite soon. So this code is like a little sneak peek of something you will see in a nearest feature. So as you see, you can just check your latest Helidon application, in this case a sock shop, just as a container. I can expose the port and you can test against it to see if, for example, the health checks are working. So what it will do, it will just wrap our image as a Docker image, create a test container for it, just run the test container, wait for the application to load. Yes, it's going to start right now. Do the checks here. For example, it will use rest assured to see if the health is up and running, and close the application. Okay, now as we have 3 greens, that means that everything's working perfectly. The application is up and running, health checks have passed, the application is closed, and the container is vanished. So you can also do the other way around. That means that you can use Helidon with its Helidon test annotation to test something against other black boxes. So you can just override the configuration, for example, for our application. We want to run it against, for example, Kafka stuff. And as you get Kafka stuff, you just override and say, okay, so our messaging will be Kafka right now. And it will start your container, it will start Helidon, test against it, and you will see again a lot of green stuff happening here. So this will happen. There will be a separate article about it. So you are gonna read it and see it. So we are very testable as well. So this is basically everything I want to say. So more great stuff will come quite soon. So we are working hard, and I believe these 6 wonderful features of Helidon will help you really expand your business operations with it. And I believe it's a very good stuff. You see, we are really native for most of the stuff, and we have really cool integrations. So from my side, I want to say big thank you, and I believe you really like this driving conference, and I wish you a nice day there in Varna. So bye and thank you.